Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and in this video today, we're going to be talking about how the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have signed Andrew Adams to their 53-man roster from their practice squad, and they have also added cornerback Pierre Desir to their practice squad. And I am not alone in this video today. Joining me from the Cannon Fire podcast yet again, you've seen him a lot on this channel, and you will see even more of him in the couple more videos to come. It is Evan. Evan, how you doing, man?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I mean, the Buccaneers, they made a couple of moves, added a safety, put another corner on the practice squad. They've got some other stuff that isn't so good that we'll talk about in a separate video, but yeah, let's talk about this, man. So, first thing I want to mention is the Buccaneers did add Andrew Adams, right? Veteran safety. They signed him from the practice squad. He has been with the team on and off the past couple of years now. What are your thoughts on this signing?
Yeah, well, we saw it be a trend. Jaydon Mickens was back with the practice squad. Then he was one of the elevations for Thursday's game. Him and Andrew Adams were the two elevations. Jaydon Mickens, a few days later, gets promoted to the 53-man roster, and now Andrew Adams only has to wait a couple more days after him before he gets promoted. I think this was just something that the Bucs, I think, sort of planned to do. It sort of seemed like how quickly they did it. Sort of seemed like it was kind of a planned thing. Chris Cooper, who was waived, we already talked about that in a video a few days ago. But Chris Cooper, who was waived, is now back on the practice squad. So him and Adams essentially just switched spots. So Andrew Adams is now on the 53-man, and I mean, really, he played well on Thursday night. Saved the touchdown even on the one flip to Ezekiel Elliott. Andrew Adams was the guy that made that tackle. So just a veteran who knows the system well and works out for both sides.
Yeah, I just looked it up just to confirm. Andrew Adams has been on and off this team since 2018. And I love that. I absolutely love that. I told you before we recorded this video, because you actually broke the news to me. I had been working all day. And I said, Evan, I don't know, man. I don't have a video today. And you're like, well, actually, James, I've got something for you. And I told you, right? Like, I love Andrew Adams, right? My bias shows through in regards to that. I think he's a solid veteran backup safety, right? The team obviously likes him. He's been here on and off for, the past 3 seasons now, right? In 2018, he was here. Then he went to the Detroit Lions. Then he came back to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for 2019 and 2020. Went to the Philadelphia Eagles for 2021. Now he's back here with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We can't keep these two, parties separated here for very long, man. And like you said, he is going to replace, the production that Chris Cooper was giving, say, on special teams. But I think Andrew Adams is probably going to offer a little bit more. He's one of those guys that you can kind of plug in and get a serviceable game out of, I think, if you need to. I think he's just a solid veteran backup. He's a good special teams guy. All around, I think he's just a great player. What do you think?
Yeah, I really like him. This is actually he's survived two different regimes as well, because if you remember when he joined the team in 2018, that was when it was Dirk Cutter, and
Yeah.
he had the 3 interception game against the Panthers. That was under Dirk Cutter, so that's how long that Adams has been on two different teams in between that time too. So kind of crazy story. Just seems like it's like a relationship. It's like that couple that is on and off, but every time they break up, you just know at some point they're gonna get back together. And I think that's like a perfect analogy of Andrew Adams and the Bucs right now.
Yeah, one situation I always like, or not a situation, I guess just like one player's circumstances I compare it to is like kind of like Kevin Minter. He's kind of like the Kevin Minter of the secondary, right? Where it's just like, hey, this guy will come in, he'll give you some good reps at safety if you need him to, he'll give you some good special teams play if you need him to, and that's just how it goes. The only difference is that Kevin Minter's been able to stick on throughout the entire time. Andrew Adams has just been on and off. So all in all, I am happy about this signing. But another move that we talked about that was made, Evan, was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers added a cornerback to the practice squad. Pierre Desir, the 31-year-old veteran cornerback, 6'1", 192 pounds, fourth-round draft pick in 2014. What are your thoughts about the Buccaneers adding a veteran cornerback here?
Well, how Jaydon Mickens and Andrew Adams were two elevations for Thursday's game. I think we could very well see Pierre Desir be their elevation for Sunday's game, assuming he's all ready and good enough to go. I think it was something that a little bit surprised me, but at the end of the day, I saw some people say, "Oh, well, no, now he'll replace Dean." That's not the case. I'm not even sure if he's going to replace Ross Cockrell, honestly, in his role. It's just some more depth, so they're not short on corners. Thursday night, Sean Murphy-Bunting goes down. They weren't expecting that. Now all of a sudden they're short on cornerbacks. So then you have to throw in a guy like D. Delaney possibly, or have to call up Herb Miller from a practice squad. Desir's a guy who has experience. He's, like you said, he's 31 years old. He played on the Jets last year, had 3 interceptions actually on the Jets last year, including a pick 6. So he has some experience. He's played well in some spots. He played well in Indy when he was there, went to the Jets, signed with the Seahawks this past offseason, and then was a training camp cut, I believe. So he's back in the NFL now, and I think the Bucs could do much worse, and I do think he's probably a better option right now to play than a guy like D. Delaney. I think if you're in a pinch, I think he's the preferred option, and I think that's the role he would fill.
Yeah, as I said, 6'1", 192 pounds. He's been in the league a while, right? He has started, I just pulled it up, he has started 44 games in the NFL, right? That's a good number, I think. He started 8 games last year, as you said, with the New York Jets, and then he signed with the Baltimore Ravens, where he spent 3 games with them. So, he's no stranger to the NFL, right? He knows the system. He knows how to, be a cornerback in this league. He has spent time with the Browns, the Chargers, the Seahawks, the Colts, all those teams that you mentioned. He has 8 career interceptions, 1 pick 6 as well. So I remember specifically, I keep tabs on a handful of Jets YouTubers and really just a lot of YouTubers around the NFL. And I remember they were all kind of surprised when Pierre Desir was cut last year. They're like, wait a minute, this guy had, 2, nice couple of interceptions. He was our number 1 cornerback at the time. And I remember there being a little bit of surprise there. Now the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are one of these teams that are going to, kick the tires on him. I think it's a great addition. You talked about it. Him being more ready to go in the case of, if they need to play a guy like D. Delaney or Pierre Desir, Herb Miller's in that practice squad situation as well. He could be that veteran guy where he's like, okay, I got the game plan. I know what I need to do. I can come in and help out a little bit. I think he's a pretty decent fit for what Todd Bowles likes to do with his cornerbacks, big, physical type of guy. He isn't the fastest, ran a 4.59 40-yard dash back during, I believe it was his pre-draft. So that is what it is, but overall I think that this is just a solid veteran addition. Might not be the one that everybody wanted, because there's still plenty of people out there going, where's Richard Sherman? Or some of the other high names out there. I've seen people say, why don't we trade for a cornerback? But really, given all the circumstances and context of the entire situation, Pierre Desir, he's a guy you can bring in, give him a couple of weeks to learn the playbook, get ready to go. Then you honestly probably call him up to the 53-man roster at that point. Like you said, he probably would be one of those guys who gets elevated at game day versus Atlanta. And overall, I think it's a solid move. If anything happens with Jamel Dean or Ross Cockrell, knock on wood with that, Pierre Desir is a guy who I think could come in there and do a serviceable job.
Yeah, and you bring up eventually him being on the 53 man. I mean, I think you could see that in a few weeks. Maybe even if he plays well on Sunday, you can maybe even see it if he does get elevated and get in there. Maybe it's just a simple switch of D. Delaney to the practice squad and Pierre Desir to the 53 man roster. It could be as simple as that. We're not sure, obviously, but he's just depth, and it's never bad to have depth, especially during the season. During the season, it's even more crucial. You don't want to be during a game and have something happen and have 2 or 3 guys go down at one position, or even just one guy. Sean Murphy-Bunting goes one guy at the position, and all of a sudden they're pretty thin at corner. So it's nice to have.
Absolutely. So we'll see what happens with Pierre Desir. I say he's probably going to get called up eventually, and Andrew Adams, he's already back in the mix as well. So let us know what you guys think about these roster moves down in the comments section down below. What do you think about Andrew Adams joining the 53-man roster? What do you think about Pierre Desir joining the Buccaneers practice squad? But Evan, before we finish off this video, do you have any final words?
Yeah, check out the Cannon Fire podcast on YouTube channel, anywhere you can find a podcast. We're going to be getting into the swing of things now with our regular season schedule, so be on the lookout for that. We will probably post a graphic of the actual schedule here sometime soon, just so people have an idea, and we're pumped about the season.
Absolutely. So go check them out, guys. They will be in the pinned comment down in the comment section below. We're trying to get those boys to 3,000 subscribers. They've got something pretty special planned. We're not going to say what it is because it is a secret, but definitely go subscribe to them. And, if you guys are new here, go ahead and subscribe. Hit the like button if you did enjoy this video. Again, leave your thoughts about this down in the comment section down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope y'all enjoyed. We'll see you in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now. And go Bucs.